In this short video, I want to reveal something to you. Well, it's not really revealing something, it's not some secret I'm about to share with you. It's just something that many people just don't realize. When you have been agreed upon in a negative manner, you need to trample upon that agreement. You can't just leave the agreement for what it is. Okay, let me give another example here. This is just a parable, okay? Let's say that you have a gang, and that gang decided to put you on a hit list. They want to take your life. So they put out the advertisement on the dark web, because today criminals use the dark web to communicate with one another. They put you on a list with your picture, with your name, and they put out a reward of 3,000 euros for the one that's willing to do the job. For a long time nobody wanted to do it, but one day someone saw and thought, you know what? 3,000 euros to kill that girl or that guy, I'm willing to do it. Now, let's say such an agreement was made concerning you, that they want to take your life. That's something quite serious. Let's say that the gang now forgets about you. They've moved on, so-called. Let's say the gang has so-called the so-called, those people are now parts of other gangs. They still made an agreement against your life. Now hold on a minute. That advertisement has still been put out. And there were agents willingly to carry out the assignment. So are you going to just leave it like that? No, you shouldn't. Absolutely not. So, that's why if you would find out that you were put on a hit list, just some people want to get attention, but okay. You would report it to the authorities, and the authorities, once they found out that there are people out there to get your life, what will the police do? What will the investigators do? They'll track down everyone that had something against you, and they'll go through their social media, to their files, and once they notice patterns, they'll get those people. They'll either get a fine or they'll be put in jail, because they agreed danger on the life of a human being who's part of the community, and by doing that they have endangered the whole community. That's what they would do in real life. Or when a homicide has been committed, they're going to look who had an agreement against the individual. Often look at the spouse first, but why does the police or why does forensics go after those that a conflict with the individual? Why? Because when people tend to make agreements in the negative, they tend to be desperate in holding on to them. I mean, the police investigators and the forensics, they know how worldly people operate. And they're smart. So when they send their detectives to investigate a case, they're not just going to someone and say, you know what, you knew Jeffrey. Jeffrey was killed. What was your problem with Jeffrey? They don't come like that. They first arrive, have a chat with you to make you at ease, and when you begin to talk, you release information without you being aware of it, and then they catch you. They know how to deal with their people. Now, why am I giving this parable? It's because some of you think it's all right for people to make agreements against you because they have a so-called free will. Because they have their opinions, they have their free choices, their life and blah blah blah. They have their privacy. You have all this worldly garbage being taught onto you that tends to condition you in agreeing people having a negative will against you. I'm not saying that everyone has to hang out with you. I'm not saying that everyone has to give in to all your expectations. I'm not talking about that. But come on, people cannot just will whatever they will, and people cannot just think and feel about you whatever they want. Because that would mean that people also have the right to empower darkness and enable danger against you. They don't. But a lot of you keep thinking people have the right to do that. And as long as you're agreeing with Satan, you can't overcome Satan. How are you going to overcome Satan when you're in agreement with Satan? That's not going to happen. Some of you, this is what's happening. Some people hide a negative will against you collectively, and they meditated upon it, so they've done collective witchcraft on you. And those people are, maybe they're not hanging out with each other anymore, they're so-called moved on. But that contention is released in the paranormal against you. And now the demons now are taking that contention, because the demons desperately need negative contention. They're taking that contention, that heavy energy, and they're looking for other people to act it out, so that the negative energy will remain. So now you have those spirit spirit entities, I call them hovering narcissists. Those are the familiar spirits that will look through other people to enact a similar thing through you. So it can be that you had people that couldn't stand you, they spoke all kind of dirt upon you, and now those people are now out of the picture, but that negative contention is there. And now you have a group of demons that, let's say you move to another town. In another town, there may be people who are also negative-minded. And those demons now can attract those negative-minded people onto you so that they can enact that agreement that those other people made upon you. Those other people are still in negative. They may not be involved, but the demons are using what they've agreed upon to act on you. That's why some of you were involved with a narcissist spouse or with a narcissist partner. He left or she left, and before you know it, you are involved with another individual who is just as narcissistic or even worse. And you think, how could I got involved in this? Because you knew better. But here's the thing, it's not you. You have been agreed upon in the negative, and the agreement was not dealt with. So now, the demons have access to work out that agreement through other people. It's as if there's a gang, I'm using a parable now, that have agreed to put someone on a hit list. But now the gang is in jail now, but now the hitman still wants to do the job to get paid. So they're looking for another employer to agree with it so they can get paid. For example, let's say, in the parable I just gave unto you, someone put 3,000 euros on your life. Let's say someone said that, you know what, I would want the 3,000 euros. I don't care about killing the guy or that girl. But the gang who was the employer is now gone. But now the hitman still wants to get paid. So the hitman now will take that assignment and desperately look for someone else to take the assignment so that he can get paid. But that's how it goes in the paranormal. And many of you have hovering spirits working on you. That's why you keep encountering similar things over and over again. And let me tell you another thing about me. This video is not about me, but I'm the one delivering the message, so from time to time I need to say something about me. Nobody hovers with me. But some of you go through that, people just cut you off, or people just act dirty towards you and to keep your distance, and suddenly they end up in your life again. Such things don't happen to me. I can reconnect with people if the Holy Spirit allows it. But nobody hovers around me. No hovering entity is going to use people to hover around me. No, it's not going to happen. You know why? Because I agree with Christ. And I agree. Because I agree with Christ, I agree against every negative agreement against me. And I don't tolerate, don't give people an option to will and the negative against me. I'm not going into that. I walk in love towards everyone, but I don't walk in love with everyone. And look, if someone decides that they have the right to will whatever they want against you, it's the same as if someone claims they have the right to be dangerous towards you. Now, if there's a job somewhere, and someone applies for a job, and someone puts on the motivation that when they are fed up, they have a right to be dangerous, do you think they would allow someone to work somewhere? No. If you move to another community, and you think you have the right to lose it whenever you will, do you think they would allow you to live there? No. But for some reason, we think people have the right to think and will and feel whatever they want about us. And we just have to take it because we can't stop them. Hold on. When you agree with Christ, you have supernatural power at your assistance. And yes, you deal with the unclean spirits and the paranormal, but the people have to, well, they have to comply also with justice. Or else justice will deal with them. But either way, either they comply with justice by repenting or and operating in line with justice, or justice will finish them off. Well, justice is finishing them off as long as they're still in the negative. That's how it ought to be. But pagan Christianity taught you, no, people have a free will, you need to forgive, forget about it, give it a place. No. No. I'm telling you, when you fully agree with Christ, hovering spirits cannot just hover around you. People can just hover around you. And here's the thing, when folks can't hover around you, they won't even try to take advantage of you. With me, people know. There are sanctions on them. There are repercussions on them. If they try to so-called apologize just to be left off the hook or just to be left alone, things will get worse onto them. If they don't repent sincerely and they try to so-called make it up, man, they get more backlash. And every day they are in the negative, it will be a backlash onto them because they are haunted day and night. That's how it ought to be. I mean, I'm sorry, but if there's a gang somewhere enabling danger in a community, they would hire police officers, or sometimes even, I won't say the military or military police, they would hire people to go and look for that gang. They're not going to say, well, just give the gang its place because they can be left alone, leave them alone, they have a right to. No, they are enabling danger on the community. So you would send out your police officers or your military police, you will send out your troops to locate them, and once they're located, you deal with them so the danger is dealt with. That's how they do it in the world, in practice. But they tell you, in paying Christianity, to give it a place. They have the right. I don't take that. This video has become longer than I wanted. Just understand that you really have to agree with Christ. I mentioned you before, the reason why I'm still alive here, walking around in peace, recording in public, and nobody dares to do anything to me, is because there are repercussions. I walk around supernaturally armed. Yes, I walk around supernaturally armed. Nobody will dare to just will anything here. And that's the type of power every believer ought to walk in. Because listen, those that are operating in the negative, they are practical. When they see that you're armed, they won't dare come near you. If you have a robber that wants to rob one of these stores, if he knows that many of the customers in there are armed, the robber won't even dare to rob that store. Because he knows if he tries it, 99 out of 100, he would get shot or he would end up in a hospital, it would go bad with him. But if it is a shop somewhere in there where nobody's armed, where nobody suspects anything, the robber may try it. Because 9 out of 10, he probably would succeed. Now, spiritually, it's the same way. When you are supernaturally armed, man, sooner or later, folks will realize, this is not going to happen here. So, nobody's going to so-called make it up with you just to make you shut up so they can be left alone, because there's no leaving alone for them. They'll be haunted until they repent. Because if you allow people that remain in the negative to get ease, they'll play the victim and blackmail others to support the negative cause, even when they're completely wrong. And as a believer, you shouldn't do that. Well, that's it for now. Agree with Christ and be at peace.